just a little bit of the coronavirus. I'm gonna blow my nose. So
Okay. Hello and welcome to Wrecked Podcast. I am Bunchu, alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host Chamber. Chamber, how you doing, buddy?
I'm definitely not sick. I can definitely say that on the record. Completely healthy. It's probably just allergies from my cat. But besides that,
dang cat.
I know. My wife said the same thing. She thought I was getting sick yesterday. I assured her it was only the cat.
You sound pretty sick.
It is the morning. I got a lot going on with me. I think I just quit smoking for the season a couple days ago.
I forgot you do smoking season.
Yeah. So I think there's some shit.
That's one of the more ridiculous things going, right?
Smoking season is the best season. So I smoke from like December to, January the 4th or something like that. So my body is just kind of, shedding itself from the tobacco or the nicotine addiction. So maybe that has something to do with it too. I definitely sound awful, but I'm not. I haven't gone anywhere. I haven't talked to anybody. I don't know what's wrong.
I'm not buying it.
I know. I'm not selling it very well, if I'm being 100% honest.
I'm not buying it. So, what is new since the last time we talked? We talked New Year's Eve, right?
I feel like so much has changed.
New Year's Eve. I mean, that wasn't even that long ago. That was a week ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, I guess a little less than a week ago. New Year's Eve was Thursday, wasn't it?
I'm just looking at the dates on my chart here. New Year's Eve, we talked, right?
Yes.
On New Year's Eve, the price of Bitcoin wasn't even $30,000 yet. On New Year's Eve, the highest price of Bitcoin was $28,900.
Wow.
And
holy cow, really?
Yeah. It went from there. From there, it went to on the 2nd. So I kind of did a little something on the 1st, got to about 29.5. On the 2nd, we had a big candle that got us up to 33. And now we're sitting, like we've seen in today's candle, we've already seen 35.8.
35.8? That's how high it got?
Today, yeah. So we're sitting at about...
God. I'm sitting here right now with CoinGecko open 34,999.22.
Yeah. So we've been about $800 higher than that already today.
In the last 24 hours, up 10.3%. In the last 7 days, up 27.7%.
It's crazy how much it's gone
What
up.
say you?
It's bananas. I don't know what's happening, to be honest. I would have thought a blow off top by now. But we just kind of stay in this little range here. Like we've been fluctuating. We did see a big dip on the, the 4th? We saw a big dip back down to 27.5, but it got eaten up real quick. We saw another dip to about 29.9 that got eaten up. And now we're just chilling. Like, dare I say, we will never be below 30K ever again.
Stop it. Yeah, I can't even with you. Jeez.
So yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy. The price of Bitcoin has sustained a certain price point that I didn't think it was going to for so long. Alts are starting to run. We had a Doge pump that I was on board for. That was fucking terrific the other day. I had bought Doge at the floor at about like 16 or 17 sats. It jumped up to like 40 sats the other day, so that was terrific. ETH is starting to move now. We've had it's kind of going in order. Like we had a big ETH move, we had a big some other majors moved as well. I think Dot had a move. The only one that we got bid on shortly after our predictions last week was Josh and I were both horned up on Monero.
Oh my God, you guys were horned up.
Yeah, super horned. And I don't know if you saw the news, but I believe, I want to get it right. I think it was Bittrex.
Yep.
They preemptively have taken Monero, Zcash, and Dash off of their platform, citing security reasons, or pardon me, not security reasons, but essentially that there's going to be some sort of governmental, lockdown on these privatized or these privacy coins. So that really tanked the price for Monero. I'm assuming it tanked the price for Dash as well. I wasn't monitoring that one, but as soon as that news came out, I sold my bag of Monero. I broke off about even, and I think it dropped about 20 or 25% from there. So it was good call. Even though Monero is a solid project, if it's not in places, it makes it a little tougher to trade.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for your predictions for next year.
It is unfortunate for my predictions next year.
Yes, you were heavy on those.
Who knows? We're only January 6th. We got lots of legs left in us, so we'll see. That one was a tough one, though. That was a tough one. Privacy coins took a hit early in the year.
Indeed, but everything else is popping. Let's just go through the top 10 here and get a little bit of an idea of what's moving and shaking in the last 7 days. So we already talked about, I think we're kind of burying the lead too. Bitcoin, sure, we're all used to that now. That's old hat. Up 27% for the week. However, how about Ethereum?
Yeah, how about Ethereum?
Are you euphoric?
No, not yet.
Come on, what the hell, man? You're so jaded and spoiled. Unbelievable. It's up 56% in the last 7 days. No big deal.
That's nice.
Yeah,
That's
whatever.
nice.
Okay. And we got Litecoin up 26% in the last week. XRP up 6%, still hanging at that 23 cent range. So who's going to buy that? We'll see. Cardano, we have a good Cardano story later, at 65% for the week. DOT 35%. Bitcoin Cash up 24%. This one, interesting, made its way back into the top 10. This was I believe a 2017 top 10er. Stellar up 151% in this.
That's an interesting
week.
one because that one is firmly associated with XRP.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe they're trying. Maybe one is moving. Maybe all the XRPers are moving into the lumens.
Into the lumens. That's exactly what they're called. I forgot.
Yeah.
It's a funny name.
Yeah, Stellar lumens.
Yeah. Perhaps, but you would think it would be. You would get the negative news that would go along with that one too. You know what I mean? Like if XRP's taking a bath, you would anticipate XLM would take the same bath, but they are in different bathwaters apparently.
Interesting. So, and then to round out the top 10, we got Link up 32%. So you're starting to see, here's your big caps starting to move. So your thesis, along with everybody else's, is big,
definitely
Bitcoin, big caps, medium caps, and then micros. So
yeah,
let's see what happens here. So things are starting to pop. You do have down, like you said, moving all the way down to 17 overall, minus 15% for the week is your Monero.
Yeah, that's a tough one. But yeah, no, I think everything is going as scheduled. You would like to see, we've had some good returns on like the Bitcoin pairs for these alts as well. Obviously, we're looking at the dollar amounts, which is big. But what we do want to see are gains on the Bitcoin pair. Is it worth it to trade alts? Because it may not be worth it if you're not making any more Bitcoin, right? So in most of these cases, you would have made more Bitcoin with Ethereum if you're trading that. I'm anticipating it's the same across the board. Polkadot, Doge, we mentioned earlier, you would have made more Bitcoin. So that's good. That's what we want to see. That's the true alt season. Alt season is for making more Bitcoin. So those ones are going. It started with Doge, and that's the real indicator. We kind of talked Ethereum for a while, but the true OGs will tell you it starts with Doge, and that's what happened again this time because Doge outpaced Ethereum, outpaced everything else. It started popping on the 2nd of January, where everybody else was a couple of days after that.
I think the TikTok investors are beside themselves with all this.
Unbelievable. Who'd have thought?
I mean, they're the OGs, really. The TikTok investors are.
It's always the person OGs. You least expect.
Yes, indeed. So that's fantastic. So that rounds out your top 10 for the week. What are your thoughts? Where are we going? What's going on?
I'm kind of, I'm in a defensive position. My knees are bent. I'm moving side to side, anticipating moves. But my bags are still locked up. I have a good amount of high cap alts ready to go. Hopefully that, I don't know what the time frame is. Are we talking a couple more days? That's the thing with alt season. You never know when it's going to start. I think it has started, but we don't know when it's going to end. It's usually a short window. And
Can it really be a season if it has no structure? I mean, I'm pretty sure that's pretty much like
it's like tornado season.
Of what a season is.
It's like tornado season. You never know when the tornadoes.
Yes, but
are
at least you know when there's a possibility that it's going to happen in a certain time window.
So I guess in comparison, it would be it's going to happen once Bitcoin has a big pump. So it's not so much of a date. Like we know alt season will happen after a big Bitcoin pump, and it seems to be happening. Like it seems to be going on. I just don't know what the peaks are going to be, or what's going to move the most, or are we going to see? What I get really worried about is the really low caps. Are we going to see movement there? I anticipate we will, but until you see it, you get fucking nervous because that makes the big difference. When those low caps move, that's when you can start making some real money. So. Fingers crossed, everybody. I know we got a lot of bag holders out there, including myself, including maybe Bunchu as well. We're never sure.
No bags for me, buddy. Nothing.
So hopefully we see some positive momentum on those low caps, so we all become rich and we all get girlfriends.
Yeah, to ask my wife about that. That's actually the reason I don't have any alts. Is because I'm not allowed to have a girlfriend.
That's understandable. I just don't tell my wife about the alts.
It's really that's the real reason. It's not because I traded myself into oblivion. It's not because I'm not a believer. It's because my wife says I can't have a girlfriend.
And that's fair. That's fair. You entered a marital contract with her, and she deserves your full attention.
It's actually in the prenup. No alts.
No alt girlfriends.
No alts in which may generate you alternative girlfriends. Yeah. So that's why my hardware wallets are empty from alts, and all I have is a dollar store amount of Bitcoin.
A dollar store amount of Bitcoin. I really enjoy, by the way.
That should be the hashtag for the show. It's probably a little long for a hashtag, but maybe that's the clip that you pull out. But yeah, so that's where we are in the state of things. I'm sensing from Twitter that there is a little more euphoria than in the weeks past leading to this run-up. I felt in the last week we've seen a lot of people really joyous on Twitter. What do you think?
See, I would say they're really hitting the predictions hard. Like they're really anticipating something.
Well, that's
big.
what happens when
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
When you get to these highs, everybody's a chartist. Everybody's right all the time.
Right.
It's not only alt season; it's everybody's right season. So if you're new to Twitter, if you're new to crypto Twitter or new to the crypto space, the word to the wise is don't believe everything you see from everyone you see it from, because it is everybody's right season. Like it's hard to be wrong when you're in a market like this, right? So I think that was one of the big lessons from 2017 is you look at who you're following after the fact, and those people may have disappeared for 3 years and came back, and they still have tons of following, and it looks like they never left. Things like that. But so just be careful who you're listening to, and always make your own podcast. Do your own podcast.
So, a couple of things.
Well, am I wrong?
No, you're 100% right.
Oh, okay. I was like, am I getting backlash for this? I don't.
No, you're bang on. Okay. So I also use a follower metric to call the top of this cycle.
Your own follower metric?
Yes, exactly. So once I reach 30,000 followers, then I will know the top is in, and we can all sell and wait for the next cycle. The other thing that I just realized early this morning is we had a retweet on our Rec Podcast account, and I see that it's Carpe Noctem.
Oh,
and I'm like,
wow,
oh, that's
look
nice.
At that.
I'm like, oh, I thought I thought he had already retweeted that one, but I'm like, oh, maybe he didn't. And I click on him, and it shows when I'm following him. I'm like, no, we're definitely following him. So I checked to see,
Oh, it was an imposter?
That's what I checked to see, and I'm like, no, it can't be an imposter. It's got 17,500 followers, and I'm like, I said, no, I think he has more than. Does his fucking, and in my head, I'm realizing in real time, his like knockoff accounts have significantly more followers than I do. So he has a fake account, not his account, but like a a copy account that has 17,500 followers.
So it's funny you say that. So I've been this has been happening for a couple of weeks where like I wonder if it's the same person. Someone was pretending to be Meltem Demirs.
Okay.
She tweeted about it, and by the time she tweeted about it, like if you went in the message in the replies and stuff and clicked, the fake link, that person had already changed over to a fake Charlie Shrem.
Really?
And they had just changed their whole thing to a fake Charlie Shrem, and I made a comment on it, and so it seems that they're just shape-shifting all over the place to
maybe that's just what I'll do.
So, well, I was just going to say, so, you could go imposter some famous people really quick, get a couple followers, switch, get a couple more. All of a sudden, you've compounded your following into.
And then I just come back
gains.
to me.
Then you just come back to Chamber, and now you're just Chamber with the good hair.
Wow.
That's they're also probably, I mean, to be honest, they're probably just purchased followers, so
that's good. That's a good point
as
too.
though they are.
But I was really disheartened when I saw that. I'm like, are you kidding me? I was shook. I was shook internally.
It's probably buy follower season, honestly.
Ooh. I still haven't done that to you yet. I want to buy you followers just to call you out for it.
I don't know if it counts if you buy me followers.
It's all right. It'll count in my heart.
I don't know if that's how it works, but maybe next Christmas we'll gift each other some followers.
That'd be fun.
Well, look, I mean, I no joke though. I think it is buy follower season and watch who you follow season, because it's all these people are going to come out of the woodwork, and an account that may be newer may look like it has thousands and thousands of followers. So just be careful of who you start to follow. I would say if they haven't been around since 2017 at the minimum, don't rely on what they say.
That's a good point. Yeah.
For the most part, unless they're Carpe Noctem approved for alpha,
That's true.
Yes.
These are all good points. Bunches on the ball today.
Look, you can count on me for cynical analysis of the crypto space, because as someone sitting, I would say, majoritarily on the sidelines at this point, as far as what I hold, I have a critical eye.
I like it. But those who can't play, coach, right? Is that what they say?
Those who can't do, coach, yes. Or those who can't do, teach.
That's right.
Yeah. And then those who can't teach Jim, is what I've heard.
Speaking of Jim, I had to do homeschool with my daughter yesterday, through Google Meets or whatever. And the gym teacher came on, and it was the saddest thing I'd ever seen.
Really?
It was. He didn't know. He's like one of these old guys, doesn't know how to use the computer properly. Like, he's a gym teacher.
Oh no.
I wanted to record it, but I couldn't grab the screen record fast enough. But it was pretty funny. I was like, "Oh, you guys probably know how to use this computer better than I do." It was great. It was great stuff.
So what does virtual gym class look like?
I don't know. They just did jumping jacks and shit. I leave, so I kind of just help her out for a sec. When she's good to go, she doesn't want me around. She's already embarrassed of me. So then
I would be.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I would be too. I'm an embarrassing kind of guy. But anyways, you wanna do some news?
Let's do it. Let's get to the news. All right, Chamber, what do you got for us here?
I got some news for you. This is from The Block Crypto, future sponsor of the show.
How many times are we going to say that?
They don't know this yet.
Come on, help us out here.
They're going to figure it out sooner or later that we're their number one fans. The UK, this is I noticed we had a lot of
going UK.
We have a lot of listeners from the UK, so I figured I'd pepper in some
by the way, speaking of monthly download record for the year?
Yes, we did. We crushed our December, and that was our biggest download month of 2020.
Wow.
And 2021 starting off pretty good too, so momentum is
God,
in our
we haven't
favor.
even done a show yet.
Look at that, eh? Amazing.
Yep.
So a ban on the sale of crypto derivatives and exchange traded notes, ETNs, is set to come into force in the UK on Wednesday, January 6th, that's today, announced by the Financial Conduct Authority in October after a long and heated period of consultation. The ban forbids the sale, marketing, and distribution of CFDs, options, futures, and ETNs that reference cryptocurrencies to retail investors. The regulators reckon it will prevent in the region of £53 million in harm, but industry commentators have raised concerns that it will instead drive consumers onto unregulated exchanges or indeed offshore and thus beyond the FCA's reach. The watchdog continues to draw criticism even on the eve of the ban. Dermot O'Riordan, that's quite the UK name, a partner at Eden Block, a European venture capital firm focused on blockchain tech, said the ban is an indication that the FCA doesn't know how to regulate the space. Quote, "It's a shame because the only players that actually are regulated or want to be to offer crypto derivative products to retail, such as coin shares, crypto facilities, etc., are generally good actors. This move will drive retail users to unregulated platforms like Deribit and BitMEX, who will offer even less protection than the regulated players. So it's clear how the average retail user wins in this scenario," he continued. The impact of the ban will be felt by a range of firms from specialist asset managers in crypto like CoinShares, which has more than 1.5 billion in assets under management, to platforms and exchanges such as eToro. Traditional investment firms with a sideline in crypto have also been affected. Hargreaves Lansdowne, the FTSE 100 investment firm, opted to take decisive action ahead of the deadline. Quote, the FCA's October policy statement made clear their stance on these products. We firmly believed in protecting investors and helping them helping them reach good outcomes, and so decide to implement restrictions in advance of the FCA's deadline, as this is the best interest of our clients, said Danny Cox, head of external relations at Hargreaves Lansdowne. Quote, investors are no longer able to buy these products through HL, but they can continue to hold investments that they already own, and can sell them when they wish to do so. IG, the online trading company founded in 1974, is also winding up its crypto CFD products in light of the ban. Townsend Lansing, head of the product CoinShares, said these types of companies had mostly put a stop to buy-side orders in mid-December. In terms of our business, nothing has changed since the announcement of the ban. We don't expect to have a material impact. We have a wide and diverse client base, he explained. So, doing some preliminary work here. So it's not a pull off the Band-Aid type scenario come today. So unfortunately, it may put some investors in a more, in a more questionable space, because they're dealing with unregulated partners. So we all know how that can be when your partner's not regulated.
I had some unregulated partners in college, and that was really risky.
I hear you, man.
Very risky.
I hear you. That is risky business.
Nope. Anyway,
I've never felt more alive, though.
Bitcoin's price could reach above $146,000 over the long term. JP Morgan strategizes.
Did I make the same call as JP Morgan, by the way? I think I said.
First of all, fuck JP Morgan. Don't you remember a couple years ago when they were like, oh, Bitcoin's the worst?
Well, now they're saying 146.
Yeah. So screw these guys. The price of Bitcoin could rise above 146,000 over the long term, according to JP Morgan strategists. In a note published Monday, strategists led by Nicholas, oh my God, I'm not even going to try that. I'll try it. Panagurtsoglou.
Ooh, Panagurtsoglou.
Yes. Wrote that Bitcoin's competition with gold has already started, and that implies a significant upside for Bitcoin over the long term. Strategists said that gold exchange traded funds (ETFs) have seen outflows of more than $7 billion since mid-October, while the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust (GBTC) has witnessed inflows of more than $3 billion. That suggests investors are preferring Bitcoin over gold, and this trend will continue, according to the strategists. There's little doubt that this competition with gold as an alternative currency will continue over the coming years, given that millennials will become, over time, a more important component of investors' universes, and given their preference for digital gold over traditional gold, the strategists said. Private gold wealth is mostly stored via gold bars and coins, the stock of which, excluded those held by central bank, amounts to 42,600 tons, or 2.7 trillion, including the gold ETFs. Mechanically, the market cap of Bitcoin at 575 billion would have to rise by 4.6 times from here, implying a theoretical price of Bitcoin of 146,000. to match the private sector investment of gold. So there you go. 4.6x from here on Bitcoin would give you $146,000. And then they go on to say that outlook depends on Bitcoin's volatility converging to that of gold over the long term. and that convergence is a multi-year process, which implies that above 146,000 theoretical Bitcoin price should be considered a long-term target, and thus an unsustainable price target for this year. So he said they ain't hitting it this year. What do you think about that?
I mean, they're probably right.
As for this year, the strategists see headwinds for Bitcoin with indicators like a buildup of speculative long positions. They say, we believe the valuation and position backdrop has become a lot more challenging for Bitcoin at the beginning of the new year. While we cannot exclude the possibility that the current speculative mania will propagate further, pushing the Bitcoin price towards the consensus region between 50 and 100K, we believe that such price levels would prove unsustainable. So there you have it. That's what JP Morgan is saying now.
They're just, I think what they're doing is they're just listening to the show, and they heard me say 140K by the end of the year, and they're like, well, we can't exactly, we can't do what he does.
Sorry,
and just,
I did skip a little paragraph here. Hold on one second. I just got to go back to it. Nicholas Panagurtsoglou said that he has used the Chamber Index for years in generating the price sustainability of Bitcoin and will further do so in the future.
That makes a lot of sense. See, yes. That really checks out. So, if they could send me some sort of maybe yearly income, one of those golden parachutes, that would be terrific.
Look, you should get a broker fee.
I don't even know what that is, but I'll take it.
Well, like if you trade through a stockbroker, they get a fee for every one of your trades.
I could use a couple of those.
Isn't that archaic?
Right?
Doesn't that seem like,
somebody else does your trading for you?
That's what I mean, but think about the way you've been trading for the last 3 years, and people trading stocks like through a traditional stockbroker are paying all these fees on top of all their capital gains tax.
That is bananas.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. What else we got?
I got another one here for you. Crypto asset manager Grayscale, we've talked about them in the past, has removed XRP from its list of digital large cap funds. So announcing this on Tuesday, Grayscale said it sold all XRP from the fund on Monday and bought more Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, even Bitcoin Cash. XRP was approximately 1.46% of their fund. The revised components of the fund are BTC at 81.63%, ETH at 15.86%, Litecoin at 1.4%, and Bitcoin Cash at 1.08%. Grayscale did not mention the recent lawsuit filed against Ripple by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission as the reason for removing XRP from the fund, but said Genesis Global Trading, the fund's authorized participant, is suspending XRP trading on January the 15th, so it had to remove the asset. It is not clear whether Grayscale's other XRP product, Grayscale XRP Trust, would face similar action. The block has reached out to the firm and will update the story as they hear back. So apparently they have another product called Grayscale XRP Trust, which I'm assuming is heavily weighted in XRP.
It's actually not. It's all stellar.
It's all stellar. That's how to get you. So it's looking. Man, I tweeted out the other day. I'm like, if you're pushing XRP right now, you're just 100% a scammer at this point, right? Like we would joke about XRP people, like the XRP army, but now, yeah. Now it's pretty blatant. If you're still pushing XRP after all this, you're just outright scamming people.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody pushing XRP ever is probably wrong. Obviously not a great idea.
Definitely not a great idea. But at least you could say they weren't maybe actively scamming people.
Right. No, they were just like cultists,
Yeah.
By the way, did not realize, speaking of cultists, the TV show Waco.
Yeah.
That we watched over the summer. Mm-hmm. Did not realize that the guy who played Koresh is Tim Riggins from Friday Night Lights.
I've never watched Friday. I've never watched Friday Night Lights. I would have
We
picked.
are doing a rewatch of Friday Night Lights because my wife has never seen it and did not realize that it was Tim Riggins. And my wife actually picked it up just by his voice.
Really?
Yeah. So anyway.
He's very good. He was very good in Waco, and I've only heard good things about Friday Night Lights. So
You should watch that. It'll get you through. It's a long show. Like
I feel like it's not available on any of my platforms here. I'm gonna take another look.
we're watching it on Hulu, so check it
Yeah,
out.
we don't have
Maybe it's
Hulu
on
in
there.
Canada.
Oh, no Hulu in Canada.
No Hulu. No.
Dang.
I was trying to think of a funny Canadian joke, but I couldn't.
I was trying to also, but you know.
Something with maple syrup or mousse, but
Mulu?
Mulu, yeah. Moose Lou.
Mooselu. Okay.
Anywho,
All right. Anywho. Okay. I like that one. 379 billion. The crypto exchange trade volume for December hit a highest level on record. Spot volume, that's all spot volume on cryptocurrency exchanges, reached an all-time high in December, reaching $379 billion, eclipsing the previous high reported in, any guess?
2017.
January 2018. So
so
right
close.
there. The data provided in the graph here, so they're showing a graph of all the exchanges and their spot volumes. Is, let's see here. They're looking at Binance. Wow, Binance accounted for 219.5 billion of that.
Fucking Binance. I bought some Binance tokens, some BNB. That's the other thing I bought.
Get any guess on Coinbase?
Binance was number one.
Yeah, by far. So the total was 379 billion.
Yeah.
Binance was 219.
I don't know. Coinbase was 75.
45.
Wow. Coinbase.
Yeah, that seems low to me, right?
Wow. Coinbase.
I mean, it's still number two. I
Yeah,
think.
still though.
Number two.
It's like being number two in the Michael Jordan era of basketball. Doesn't matter.
So I don't know if it said this in the article, but the January 2018 high was 307 billion. So you're looking at 72 billion more traded in this
That's
last
bananas.
month.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, yeah?
Any idea when the lowest was in the last couple years since then?
Volume?
Yep.
I want to say maybe like March 2019.
It looks to be here January and February of 2019.
Ooh, that's
So
close.
you were
That's
right.
close.
Yeah, you were close. 33 and 34 billion, respectively.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah, huge difference. Huge.
Huge.
Yeah. But so it's and we're already, holy cow. Geez. Just updated January 6th, they're already at 149 billion.
Are you serious?
That's what this chart says.
That's crazy.
Holy
the 6th.
cow. Yeah, the 6th.
All right.
Oh my god.
Buckle up, folks.
Yep. Holy cow. As noted by the block's Lars Hoffman, great name.
Lars.
The total volume for 2020 across legitimate crypto exchanges exceeded 1 trillion, clocking in at roughly 1.82 trillion for the 12-month period.
Do you know Lars Ulrich is my favorite impersonation to do? The drummer from Metallica.
Yeah, no, why?
He's got a funny backstory, so you could just talk about his history, and it's funny. I used to live in Sweden as a kid, and I grew up playing tennis a lot before I became a drummer for Metallica. I was a semi-professional tennis player out of Europe.
All right, I dig it. All right, this is fantastic. Well, we're learning more of your impression skills. Over
I love Lars Ulrich. It's such a fun one
what
to
was
do.
the other one you did the other day?
I don't know. I do some shitty. I don't
remember,
ones.
but you did it. Whatever one you did the other day was good. But anyway, so
I did. I drink your milkshake the other day.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, that is going to do it for us for the news. We've got a couple other things here for you. First of which, I sent this to you yesterday. We have a celebrity sighting.
Our new celebrity.
I know, this is crazy stuff. I don't know who this celebrity is. His name is DT. That's all I know.
Yes, so I will tell you who this celebrity is. So I believe his first name is Drew Tranquil, who is a linebacker for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Go Chargers!
So, yes. So the interesting part of this, I think, is, we always talk about shilling to your friends, right? Russell Okung was a former Charger linebacker. He's the one that's been leading the way of, he's a full Bitcoin evangelist.
My daughter thinks I look exactly like Russell Okung, by the way. She keeps seeing his picture and she's like, Daddy?
What?
I know. It started. The older I get, the more I look like a...
who's going to tell her?
I know.
What was I gonna say? So Russell Okung just broke news the other day with his whole half of his contract being paid in Bitcoin, which is big news. So
wow.
He must have he no longer plays for the Chargers, but during his time there must have convinced, or at least started to convince, Drew Tranquil. Although I'm not sure Russell did a good enough job here, because his tweet from 17 hours ago, all it says is Bitcoin ? So you would think he should already know about the merits of Bitcoin, no?
You would think so. I mean, come on.
Teammates with
My
Russell.
dad knows what Bitcoin is. Come on.
Especially just having the NFL's Bitcoin evangelist on your
right
on your team.
And honestly, if you're under 35, you should probably know what Bitcoin is to a certain extent. You know what I mean? To a certain extent. Not say Bitcoin ?
Either way, more and more athletes getting into Bitcoin. That's what we're seeing. The other tiny little segment here, you had a story, a real life crypto, and I would say normie, no coiner story here.
So I have a brother-in-law who's loosely in crypto. Got in back in the day, I think back in 2017, 2018, something like that, and didn't message me about Bitcoin until recently, like most people, right? But he had texted me on the 17th of December saying, question, Bitcoin, should I be buying more? Should I sell some? Wait until it drops again? What are your thoughts? This was on the 17th of December. We all know where Bitcoin went from there. I said, not sure. Like I tell everybody, I don't know what to do, so just figure it out on your own. So yesterday, so this was the 17th. Yesterday, he texted me back. He says, I bought Cardano at 18 cents, and now it's 45 cents. I think that move is podcast potential. So he's angling to get on the podcast, or at least talk about it. So
I don't know. That's what made me laugh about it. I like the fact that the one trade he's made puts him in god tier podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
level.
He's crypto cred or Kobe or something at this point.
Does he listen to the show?
I don't know. We'll see. He might not after I'm done roasting him. But I said, did you buy it with Bitcoin? So he was pretty excited, and I didn't want to, I said, I know what Bitcoin's done from the 17th to today or to yesterday. I'm like, did you buy it with Bitcoin? He's like, maybe, but also bought more Bitcoin. So, maybe on your podcast? ?
I love this. This is fantastic.
He's definitely related to me. This is definitely something I would tweet or I would text.
This guy's
somebody.
trying to get his crypto cred out there.
I love it.
He's a trader now.
So I'm still winning. I bought more Cardano about a month ago, so I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing is what I'm telling you, and I'm finally doing something right. So, he's happy. He's euphoric. I think he might want to sell right now because he's in the euphoric state. But yeah,
So here's the thing. He's hashtag up in USD.
Right. So I checked. I'm pulling up a Cardano chart right now. And this is Cardano Bitfinex. So if I'm looking at the 17th, we'll call it the 17th. So, so on the 17th, Cardano was at 818 sats. Okay. No, so not dollars. So he would have bought I think he said 15 cents, 18 cents, something like that. But in sats, it was 818 sats. It is currently worth 905 sats. So it's up. But I mean, it's up by what? 10%? A little bit more?
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's definitely made a positive trade.
Which is half the battle.
Absolutely. But in his eyes, I'm just trying to get him to understand, like, it's not as much as you think. Had you just held Bitcoin, would you have been at the same spot? Actually, it's good that you made the trade because you made a little bit more. You made about 10% more than you spent. So that's good. But it's not necessarily as much as you think it is, considering it's gone up, whatever percentage.
Right,
because Bitcoin has also gone up a significant amount since then.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, yeah. That's why I always tell people check.
What was the Bitcoin price on
December
17th?
Let's check it out here. On the 17th, it's way down here. On the 17th, it was... Did it pump on the 17th? Oh, no. 21.5. 21.5, we'll call it. Yeah, so I mean, it's now almost 35,000. So it's gone up significantly. You know what I mean?
Wait, what was it? 21.5?
21, yeah, 21.3. I'm being generous, 21.5. Probably 21.3.
Interesting. So, yeah, I mean, good trade.
Yeah, it's definitely a positive trade, which is good.
It's a positive trade. He made some money.
I think a lot of people get confused when they see when they're tracking in dollar. That's why I always say track in BTC, because at the end of the day, you could be doing all this work and trading yourself into break even. You know what I mean? So sometimes it's worth it just to hold some Bitcoin and let that run. And that's why I only like really trading Bitcoin after it's done running. And sometimes it doesn't stop running. Because I thought right around 20K would have been a nice time to trade alts. And it's not been the case. It's peppered up since then. So here we are. But not show worthy yet, buddy. Not show worthy yet.
That's funny. That I think is gonna do it for us.
I think
today.
so. I gotta go teach my kid now.
Yeah, I gotta go do real work. Which I forgot to say this on the show earlier, but this Sunday was definitely the worst case of the Sunday scaries all year. You've been off for like 2 weeks, and then that Monday morning, the first Monday morning in January comes where you got to go back to work.
That's a rough one.
It is pretty brutal. So back at it, but that's going to do it for us. So until next time, as always, don't get wrecked, and that is financial advice.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening. You can help support us by giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and become a Wrecked patron by signing up for a monthly tier on Patreon.com. That's Patreon.com/ patreon.com/wrecked podcast. Don't get wrecked.